If the NBA gets Vegas and Seattle, who's going to the East, Grizzlies or Pelicans? To be honest, I kind of think it's going to be neither, but if I had to pick one between those two, I'm guessing it would probably be Memphis. But let me show you the reason why I think it's going to be another team. So according to most of the rumors, it does sound like Seattle and Las Vegas are both getting teams here in a few years when it sounds like they're going to be doing a NBA expansion draft. And obviously those two cities are going to end up in the Western Conference. As you can see, I have the pins laid out here in each NBA city. These gray ones are the new potential teams, Seattle and Las Vegas. Red is the current Western Conference and blue is the current Eastern Conference. So if we make Seattle and Las Vegas red and add them to the Western Conference, then we have 17 teams in the West versus 15 teams in the East. So obviously we need to move one team over from the West to the East to balance things out. And this is where I think the city that we're actually going to see move to the East is going to be Minneapolis with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the reason why I think that is because the Wolves currently are basically on an island in the Western Conference all by themselves, where their division that they play in is the Northwest currently, which consists of Denver, OKC, Utah, and Portland. So it's basically just like all the misfit toys in the NBA, all the cities that are just kind of left out from the cities around them. But moving to a 32 team league, my guess is we're going to see an extra division added as well in both conferences. So they'll be moving from 3 divisions in each conference of 5 teams per division to the format of having 4 divisions per conference with 4 teams per division. So 4 groups of 4. That would be my guess anyways. Honestly, what might be my second guess is them doing something similar to the NHL, how they have theirs formatted where there's only 2 divisions per conference. So there's 8 teams per division. And honestly, as I think you'll see as we start to go through this and try to realign these divisions, that might work the best, honestly. Make things fit as neat as they can. So I guess to start forming divisions, we'll start over here in the West and create what I think is probably going to be known as either just the Northwest Division or the Pacific Northwest, maybe something like that. But my guess is this division will probably consist of Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, and Golden State. Even though you are splitting up the California teams doing it this way, I still think that Las Vegas and Phoenix lumped in with the 2 LA teams just makes more sense. So for the Pacific Northwest Division, the pin icon is going to be a square. And then like I said before, the LA teams with Vegas and Phoenix are probably going to be what's known as the Southwest Division. And we'll give them a diamond, I guess, for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Different sport, but still applies. That finishes our group of 4 here. The Clippers and Lakers are kind of stacked up on top of each other. Then that brings us to a little bit of a messy part because of Salt Lake and Denver being so far out of the way. It's tough to decide where to draw the line exactly. And we'll give this division a star. I guess call it like the Central Division, maybe. I know that the current Central Division is in the Eastern Conference, but honestly, we could name that division up there something to do with the Great Lakes, maybe. And so we're going to put Dallas in here with the Central. Not really a major reason why, to be honest, just because it's really close to OKC. I'm not sure if there's a certain best way to divide this one up. That's why I think this one would make the most sense for being an 8-team division than having the rest of these 8 all in one division as well. But either way, it works out. And this last division in the Western Conference, we'll get a circle and will be called the NBA South Division, maybe something like that. Southern Division, maybe the Gulf Division. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but that one's obviously going to be the Grizzlies, Spurs, Rockets, and Pelicans. And then moving over to the Eastern Conference, I think starting down here makes the most sense. And this will probably just be like the Southern Atlantic Division or something like that. We can give them a square, and that's going to consist of the Heat, Magic, Hawks, and Hornets. All right. And then up here in the Northeast, that can be the name of the division, honestly. Northeast Division. We'll probably put Boston in this one, give them a diamond. We'll have to put both the New York teams together, the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets, and add the Sixers in with them, and that can make up the Northeast. And trying to divvy up these last 2 divisions is another reason why I think just doing 2 divisions per conference might be the better way to go, because then you could almost just do this whole coast over here and then have the Great Lakes division be by itself. But I think Washington is going to have to be the odd man out unless you want to do Atlanta or Charlotte maybe. But one of those teams will have to go over and be with the other division, since that would be 9 teams over here. But to try to figure out how to do these last 2 divisions, we could either go the Wolves, the Bucks, the Bulls, and the Pacers, or instead of the Pacers, we could do the Pistons, try to keep that Bulls-Pistons, rivalry tradition alive. And the Pacers would just go over with the Cavs, the Raptors, and the Wizards, especially since if we're looking at how good these teams are right now, this division over here with the Wolves, Bucks, Bulls, and Pacers would be an absolute juggernaut for the most part. Bulls really being the only kind of weak link there. And then this division would be like the complete opposite, having the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Wizards especially, and then the Cavs are really the only bright spot. So yeah, this would be one option for trying to divvy up the new NBA divisional landscape. My guess it'll look something like this, but maybe a little bit different with, a couple of those ones that could go either way. But yeah, thanks for watching.